I grew up Catholic, so I always knew who Jesus was. I was aware of him. I had religion, and I didn't have Jesus. And when I got married, my husband and I decided to continue because that's what we knew. We continued the Catholic faith. I just would go to church, and I could always sense just kind of an unsettled feeling. I could never put my finger on it. I thought I was checking all the boxes off. We were regular attenders and such. I was pregnant with our third daughter. I had found out my husband had an affair, and it was a pretty devastating time in my life. And I had no idea how I was going to get through it. I could not see to the other side. And it took quite a while for the dust to settle for me. And once it did, I, on a whim, had this idea, and I asked my husband, why don't we try a non-denominational church? And we did. We continued to go to this church, and I watched my husband's faith rapidly grow, and it was amazing to see. I was like, oh wow, okay, so I think we're where we're supposed to be. As we continued our life together, time had gone on, and I was still really struggling with my feelings of what had happened in my marriage. I decided to make the choice. I began to try and self-medicate, which would be like I would have a drink here and there just to relax, or I had a long day. That quickly turned into me being introduced to marijuana. I said, okay, great. I'm just going to do it at night to help me relax and sleep. I didn't want my kids to know that I was doing something like that, so I would be secretive about it. That quickly turned into me using every day. It became a pretty bad habit of mine. I probably consistently would smoke and be high every day for almost 2 years. It was a day that at the time, my youngest daughter was 4, and she wanted to play hide and seek with me. I was just so high that day, I couldn't get myself together, and I couldn't play hide and seek with her. And that was the day that I cried out to God and said, I don't want to do this on my own anymore. It's not working. And he heard me because I felt him. And that was the last time I touched any alcohol or marijuana. Right around that same time frame, a coworker of mine, Ryan Mills, he would always ask me, Cody, why don't you come to Miles City and try it out? And I was always like, we are plugged in. Like, we go to church. We go to a church similar. And he was like, no, like, come and check it out. Coming here and experience how the message here is getting people to move towards God. My family coming here is proof of that. I have 2 of my daughters baptized here, which was a huge inspiration. It was actually recently, at the beginning of May, I was sitting with my husband in our room, and I was really reflecting on what we'd been through, what we've gone through, where we've been, where we're going. And something just clicked in me. I know it was the Holy Spirit prompting me. I just had this overwhelming sense of it was time for me to pray for myself, the prayer of salvation. And I asked my husband to pray with me. I confessed to him that I believe in him and I am a sinner and to please forgive me. And it was in that moment I was all in with Jesus. And once I did that, it was absolutely life-changing for me. And I'm just so grateful to be here and to be able to share and to get to the other side, because being with Jesus is way better than trying to do it on your own. My name is Cody Dethloff, and I want to be baptized today because I do not want my past to define me, and I have chosen to walk with Jesus in my life, and I want others to know He is a waymaker.